these names y'all came up with for the Mr. Diddy. Well, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. Sean Combs is an innocent man of all these charges, in my opinion, based on everything that I today. Well, not today, for the 18 days of trial. I have yet to see racketeering or trafficking in any way, shape, or form. Not because I'm biased, because really I don't care for his lifestyle one bit. I never worked for Bad Boy. There's no situation where that would benefit me. Just looking at what's happening here, it seems to be a mockery of the law. Now, what we're going to do is take you to the sauce. We're going to get to the sauce, because that's the best way to do it. So, hope y'all feeling all right. Hopefully they're not finna try to sabotage you like they've been doing since we've been doing these live streams. Because they seem to be doing some blockage right now. I don't know if you noticed it, but I've noticed it. What I'm not seeing is a notification. That's all right. That's why I'm here. This is why I'm here. To deliver the deliverables. We trying to get everybody that's in the circle before we kick things off. Yeah, so hit your like button while you're coming through the door right now. Thank you very much. There's been a lot of talk about YouTubers now on social media, but there was no talk about YouTubers. There was no talk about YouTubers for the entire duration of a trial. No talk about YouTubers. And it's been how many weeks? It's 18 days, almost a month of trial, right? A full month. We're in June. It started in May. So 1 later, now you want to talk about YouTubers? You know how many YouTubers and TikTokers and Instagrammers are right outside your courtroom? And the one y'all let in y'all courtroom, Teaser Tales, was out here leaking identifications on her live stream, and the government and the defense, them still let her in the court. But you got the prosecution in there worried about Sean G. Why? Now you can see how the spam was coming on my live streams. Now you can see how that was being applied and why it was being applied. Right? Now, let's kick this off. Teaser Tales should be removed from the courtroom, no doubt. But before the jury came in, the judge said, what about the screenshots of the text between Miss Ventura and KK, Christina Corum? And Shapiro, Alexandra Shapiro from Diddy's team, said only the text should be admitted, not the photo. The jury should know, the government said the jury should know it's a screenshot, not the text. And then the government says, my error was only looking at the first message. I apologize. The judge said, you may like screenshots or opposed to the text. And he said, the judge said, I'm not done. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Judge. He's like, I understand. I'm just not sure this is the hill you want to die on. And Diddy lawyer said, yeah, these texts, you have thousands of videos of my performing every weekend on your phone. They are backwards looking and hearsay. And we argue that Mr. Combs was upfront about his non-monogamous nature of the relationship, as Jane said. So that's why they was like, we don't need to bring this in here. So she was like, in their opening, they attacked Jane's credibility. They called it consensual. As you heard yesterday, Jane felt coerced. They have opened the door. The judge said these are admissible to rebuke in the defense's opening, so it is appropriate to introduce those statements. And then they said the government sent us 6 years of text messages. Then they somehow reduced them. We stand by our objections. The foundations has not been laid. And the judge said the government should have laid the foundation. And they like, and here comes Johnson, the lady. We have laid it, Your Honor. We did. And he's like, no, you didn't. Bring the jury in and the witness. So they was like, good morning. How many times did you travel to Las Vegas, Jane? She says once on Sean's plane. When he was hosting an event, then he wanted entertainment for the night. We had that. What do you mean? And entertained, meaning we had sex. What did going off the grid mean? Getting free. Sean called you a freak. Yes, he wanted me to be a wild and sexual. Did you ask Sean if the entertainers could wear condoms? Yes. The first time with Don and another, Sean guilt-tripped me out of it. Was not something he wanted to see. What was his tone? Condescending. Did he say what he did not want the entertainers to wear condoms? He did not want to see a rubber. Did you raise it even when sober in a hotel room? Yes. Was this ever recorded? Yes. Ones that I am aware of. I am trying to ask the entertainer if he can wear a condom. He's looking for it. I like to call this up as the exhibit with aid. Do you listen to this? Yes. And did you read the transcripts that's up on the screen? Yes. They said, let's start at the 8-minute and 20-second mark when you said, I think they're in the chair, and you referring to condoms. Jesus Christ, this is nuts. So, what did you understand what Sean meant when he said you were taking that dick? What do you think it means? That we've already had intercourse. And when he said, if you don't touch yourself right now, what is he saying? To just move on. When did you think you needed permission from Sean for the man having sex with your body wearing a condom? Objection. They were like, overruled. And they was like, sidebar. They was like, sure. They was like, what is this? Like, what are we doing here? We've already established all this like yesterday. Like, where are we going? Can you please speed this up? So they said, why did you not say no? He'll get agitated. He would intercourse with an entertainer's end. He would finish on me. Then what with Sean? We'll have sex. You would clean up after he ejaculated? No. Why not? Sean liked it, to play around with it. Then what? I'll take a shower and get ready for the next one. Typically, how many rounds? They was like, objection. They were overruled. Every entertainer was different. Some 3. They would decide if I could stop where you were tired and things of that nature. They said, do you need a moment now? She said, I'm sorry, what is your question? Because she started sobbing. And it was like, how did you say you wanted to stop? I'll say, like, I'm hungry. Make little faces. I'll send him subtle cues. What would he say? He said, you're not getting tired on me, are you? Let's go out on a high note. Let's finish strong. What would Sean give you to keep you awake and having sex with entertainers? Ecstasy. Did you ever cry after one of these hotel nights? Twice. Tell us about the first time. I thought it was a date night, one-on-one. But he said there would be an entertainer, but just a quick one. I hung on to that, but 18 hours. And after 18 hours and 3 rounds with the entertainer, Sean said he had to leave. I started crying. Were you with someone else? I was with Sean. It was at the Waldorf in the Beverly Hills, early in our relationship. What did Sean say? He said, are you crying? Like looking disgusted. Then he just sat there listening to music. I was clinging to him. He said he could move things around with him and his family, and I could go home with him. I just wanted to be in his arms after all that. And the second time, I was in the shower after one of those nights. Is your memory spotty on this? Do you remember? I was so high. I was just having sex with Paul. Then I was in the shower with Sean. He said, stop it. I'm too high. Stop. Paul, one of the entertainers, where the hotel nights work for you. Objection. Overruled. They said it was work from start to finish. They said, what did you do to try to get them to end sooner? I would try to have sex with the entertainers fast. What did you do to try to speed things up? I'd do foreplay, then bring them into the room. Sean would say, slow it down, more foreplay. What words would he use? Time frame. That's fair. May to October 2023. May of 2021 to October of 2023, what would Sean say? He would say, I'm not ready to see that yet. How would you feel? Defense said, sidebar. And he's like, sure. They go up there for a sidebar because all she's doing is describing a relationship. What is coercion? And what is a relationship? Consensual relationship. Couples disagree all the time. Do the husband coerce, or do the wife or girlfriend coerce the other person into doing something? If they was like, come on, baby, go to the game with me. I want you to be at the game. I don't feel like going to no game. Why don't you take Ron? Ron got to work. Come on, baby, let's go to the game. Now you've just coerced your girl into going to the game. She was forced. She was under pressure. He would get mad if she didn't go to the game. He coerced her. Do you see how stupid this sounds? So they come back from the, they sidebar. And she says, how do you feel? Jane said, I want to be with Sean at the end, but where'd you go? To his residence. Was there any part of these hotel nights you enjoyed? Being with Sean. Would he text him? Would you, she said, I would say, I love you. Did he text you? You wanted to have sex with him? And she says, yes. And they said, did he tell you What they said, did he tell you what to text? She said, yes. He asked, what do you want? Be explicit. That's telling you what to text? Why did you write these things? I wanted to make my lover happy. Look at this one from November 9th, 2021. What's you writing? I wrote, I'm horny for you. You don't have to read this, but did you write, I want to suck Paul's D? Why did you write that? I knew it would turn Sean on. Who is Paul? An entertainer. You text him you wanted to stop having hotel nights. Yes. What did you write here? I'm so much more than being left in the dark of a hotel room. My heart is breaking. I don't want to play this role in your life anymore. I feel it's the only reason you pay for the house. We need to talk like adults. How long has Sean been paying your rent? 5 months or so. Did you see drugs in the hotel rooms? Objection. It was like overruled. It was Molly, ecstasy, cocaine, pink powder, which I believe is called Tusi. Who gave them to you? Sean. Did you ever see any of the entertainers taking drugs? No. That was my one rule. I told them they couldn't take drugs. I didn't want them to be out of control while they were with me. How did ecstasy make you feel? Sexual energy. What did you feel like you had to take these drugs? Otherwise, it would be too real. I wanted to. I don't know. I feel like she started sobbing. It would make things easier. They say, did you ever do hotel nights without drugs? Twice. Once with Paul. They said, why didn't you take drugs that time? I didn't want to do that to my body, but it was real, too real. So I asked Sean for a pill. Did Sean give it to you? Yes. I felt better. The second time, my partner was taking too many pills. He said, I'll do 30 days without drugs, but let's have one last sober party at the Lamar's. They said, how long did it last? Too long, 18 hours. What happened? The first guy, the second guy was not feeling well. I was not feeling well. I threw up. I told Sean I'd just thrown up. What did you say? He said, that's good. Now you be ready for the third guy. He's here now. How did you feel? I was just disgusted. I was repulsed. I was just too mad to myself. I was mad I had let myself get into this. This would be a good place for a break. The judge is like, I agree. So they're talking to Shapiro and Brian Steele, and the judge is talking with them. They're very animated in their conversation, right? So they bring Jane back and the jury, and they said, did Sean ever run out of drugs during hotel night? He says, yes. What happened? He would call one of the assistants or butlers to bring more drugs, sometimes his security. They said, what about assistants? Brendan, Frank, John. They said, let me show you a photo of Brendan. Now, Brendan, remember, this was the drug mule that got caught on the plane or whatever. He had all the drugs on him, right? So this is the first time he's been mentioned in the trial. So here we go. And she's like, that's him. He would bring pill bottles. Then that would be cocaine and weed. They said, who from security did he call for drugs? Fahim. Sean called him Fa. Who else brought drugs? Guido. He bought mostly ecstasy, Molly, and Xanax and coke. Did you take Xanax? Yes, after I put Sean to sleep. Did you ever carry drugs for Sean? Yes, from LA to Miami. KK told me. I'll have security come out and give you the package, I asked. Is it safe and okay? What did KK tell you? She said, it's fine. I do it all the time. Where did you give Sean the package? In the bathroom of 2 Star. He opened it. He saw its colorful pills. I assumed. I don't want you to assume. Did you take the pill? Yes, for a hotel night. It was ecstasy. Did you move drugs for Sean another time? Yes, in my luggage from LA to Miami. There, Sean and I used them. They were ecstasy. Before May and October of 2021, who reached out with the entertainers? Sean. Then who? Me. So she said, when did you start choosing? I didn't want it to be a stranger. I assumed the dynamic of our relationship. We were walking adults that I saw a performer and said that one. Okay, no, what she's saying is we were watching adult films and I saw a performer and said that one. Why did you want to choose? I couldn't get away from this. Who did you choose? Sly Williams. I called him chef. He had a passion for cooking. What were you and Sean doing? Having sex on ecstasy. We started talking about Sly's size. Sean was acting all flirtatious about it. I sent Sly a message over Instagram. Did he respond? Yes. I told him I was a fan of his work. Maybe we should meet up one day. We did a FaceTime. Sean was there. What happened? It got hot and steamy. I asked him to show me himself. There's a lot of I in here. He shows you his genitals? Yes. And I was casting from my phone to Sean's television. How did you and Sly get from Atlanta to LA? I told Sean I will arrange his flight. I booked it online on Expedia. Sean paid me back. What happened? He was cute and sweet. He was nervous too. It was my first time. First time what? Contacting an adult film star. I had told him it was me and my partner. He said, fine. Which hotel? The Artemis or whatever, I believe, she said. It was the routine. The oils would come out. There would be a uniform. I'll dance, then sex. What was Sean doing? Playing with himself. Then who invited him the next times? I did. I would suggest Sly. He was familiar to me. What else did you meet Sly? The Trump Hotel in New York. Yes, I would book his flights from Atlanta. And you paid him afterwards? Yes. $2,000 or $4,000. Where from? Objection. They said, where did you cash to pay Sly to come from? From the drawer. Sometimes we use Cash App. There was a second adult entertainer you reached out to. Yes, Anton. I think Anton Harris. It was his stage name. I don't know his real name. We were watching Anton's films and I was really into him. I messaged him on Instagram. He was in LA. I invited him over. How did Anton respond? Positively. We were in my first residence. What happened? The same. Sean watched. He was happy. Did you see Anton again? Yes. Sometimes at hotels in LA, sometimes in my apartment. Did you FaceTime with Anton and Sly? Yes. With Sean and I alone having sexy times. What would Sean call them? He wanted something live. I was doing like sexting, FaceTime, and screen sharing to Sean's TV. I told Sly and Anton I was alone so they would feel comfortable. Did you and Sly and Anton send you pictures of their genitals? Yes. Sean wanted them. He would say, get it. Did Anton and Sly ever send you photos of their genitals when you were not with Sean? Yes. I was polite and flirtatious, but not as flirtatious as when I was with Sean. Did you ever see Anton or Sly in person without Sean? No. Are these your texts with Sly? Let me show you. I was asking for explicit photos or videos from him. That's what my partner wanted. What did Sly say? He said, I'm down. What did you say? I wrote, I'm touching myself. Then what's your full name? D.O.B. What's that? To book his travel. What did you write? She's booking. Jen was November 9th, 2021, the flight. They said, when you received these explicit messages, were you alone? Yes. I sent a bladder message. Then he texted me on April 22nd. Hello, beautiful. How is your day? Why did Jess book the flight? I was too high to type. He's been the entertainer. Other entertainers? Paul and Don, Short and Sean coordinated others between May of 2021 and 2023. How often were the hotel nights? Often. Every week, every other week. After February 2024, when did this happen? The 2-star in LA. So Comey says, and the LA residence you're still living in? Yes. After February 2024, maybe 5 times. How many different men? I don't know. Let's talk about some. Who is this? Don. Last time you seen him? August 2024 at 2-star. And who is this? She said, I only saw Don in Miami. They said, well, who is this? Paul. When was the last time you seen him? The end of July of 2024. Before that, very often. What did you think Paul did? A personal trainer for Sean in LA, Miami, and the Turks. How did Paul get there? He'll book his own travel or he'll already be there. Who's this? A man named Leo. I met through Sean for one of those nights. I met him on my birthday. The last time you met him, 2023. Where did you see Leo? LA. What else did you call him? Italian. Who's this? A guy Sean brought into the night in 2021. What happened? Sean said he had someone coming over. I was repulsed. He looked sweaty. He didn't look nice. He kind of smelled. They said, what did you do? I tried to make it work. I tried to seduce him with my body. He kept sweating so much. I looked at my partner and said, I'm not feeling this. I was in lingerie and heels. What was he wearing? Nothing, Sean said. Do you want to taste it? I said, I'm not feeling this. What did Sean do? He laid me down and started having sex with me. Where was the man? Hovering over me. He was sweating on me. Then what? Sean told me to look at the man's private part, but it wasn't happening. Sean told him no worries, and the man left. Then what? Sean told me he had someone else coming. Paul. I was blindfolded. Sean wanted me to touch him. She said, I took a liking to Paul. I was more comfortable. I thought he was handsome and nice, and he had a warm energy. And they said, did you want to have sex with him? No, but if I had to have sex with someone, I guess it was not so bad with Paul. They said, what's this? A photo of a man named Michael. I saw him twice in 2022 and 2023 in the audition, Los Angeles. Sean said something new was coming. Then just a bit later, Sean was having small talk with this guy on the balcony. He invited me out. I thought Michael was attractive. I saw him from a website. And they said, well, who is this? I don't know his name. I met him on my birthday in 2023, one of those nights. What happened? Sean told me to come to Miami. We would be alone. He was so sweet. We were eating sushi at Nobu in the hotel. Sean said, we have entertainment. I gulped and said, entertainer? What did he say? It's your birthday. I just accepted it. Why? I don't know. Upstairs, this man comes in. It was routine. I'm like a robot. I am getting this guy comfortable. Do you need a break, Jane? You said you were robotic. What do you mean? I just done so many of these. I can just tune out. My partner likes to see it. I just turn on this person. What do you mean turn into another person? A person who can just do this. What happened? I was much quicker with this person. He felt more like a stranger to me than anyone. I didn't want to do this on my birthday. I asked Sean for a condom. Where was he? He was behind this man. He gave me these dirty looks. Like, you better not ask for a condom. I could just hear that. They was like, what else did you hear him say? Objection. They was like, overruled. The judge want this to keep going. So they said, I don't want to sour the mood. Why didn't you want to sour the mood? So Jane starts crying. I just didn't want my partner unhappy with me. Do you need a break, Jane? No, I'm okay. They were like, poor Jane. So Sean gave him a condom. So they said, what happened next if you're ready to tell us? She's like, Sean gave him a condom, but then walked away. He was so disappointed. The guy finished. I can't remember where. What's next? The man left. We switched rooms to a bigger suite. What then? Sean was more loving. He was more celebratory. We had cake, Darren, balloons, then Sly comes in. Any talk? No, it was just hours and hours of that. Pleasing this guy, doing so much. Just all of it. Foreplay, things I know my partner wants to see. Going back and forth, it was morning. Then what did Sean say? That Don was coming. What did you say? Nothing. Like that, it was fine. Why? I love my partner. What did you do with Don? Sex. They was like, let's take a lunch break. So the jury leaves, Jane leaves, and Diddy's team, they like, we want a sidebar with the government about something here. And he said, I like the court's advice on. So the judge said yes. They go into this big sidebar, and Diddy's team is really adamant. Like Diddy's main lawyer is really adamant about this. Right. Now, so far, what I'm hearing is not controversial. What I'm hearing is not controversial at all. In nature, in tone, period. None of it. So far, what I'm hearing is a woman who agreed to do things for her man. But she participated. She called. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed this person. She might not enjoy one of them, but she enjoyed all of them. But you consented. If you order food and you eat the food, and you might say, ugh, you got too much salt on it, but you ordered the food. Nobody forced you to order the food. You sent him stuff saying, I wanted to please him. I wanted to make him happy. I know this makes him happy. So I said I wanted to suck Paul's you know what. And that turned him on. So that's like, so you wanted to please your man. So where's the coercion? If you're doing, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, I'm doing this to make him happy because I know he will like it. Then said, well, I'm doing it because if I don't do it, he'll be violent. You can't have it both ways because you've never expressed in your none of this conversation of him putting hands on her. So how is he being violent to you? None of this conversation she's saying is him so far putting his hands on her. So you can't play this role. But we'll continue. That's why we have a trial. I mean, this is so far in the conversation. So they come back and they said, this afternoon we'll be showing some explicit exhibits in the binder. So not on counsel screens, but counsel can come up and see them. The judge says, okay, bring the witness back in, and they bring in the jury. They said, have you seen this man? And Jane says she brought him into the hotel room. No, she said Sean brought him into the hotel room in LA. I was in a robe and lingerie. I wore the wardrobe I usually had. What happened in the living room of the suite? I just knew this was something I could not fake. What do you mean? I was repulsed by him. I tried for 30 minutes. Then I told Sean, can I talk to you in the bedroom? There I told him I can't. I tried again, but no. I told Sean I'm sorry. How did Sean respond? Agitated. Then another man came in. Did Sean talk to you first? No. Who's this? A man I met in New York. I told him I didn't want to go to New York if it was just to set me up with a man. He said, no, one-on-one. So I went. Did you get Wi-Fi on the plane? Yes. Sean sent me a text saying, do you want entertainment tonight? How do you feel? Disappointed. My thoughts of seeing my lover was shot down. Where did you go in New York? The Trump Hotel. I saw assistants setting up the room with red lights for a hotel night. I took this photography. What happened next? I told Sean, I don't want to do this. He was just super defensive. On the way back to the room, Sean gave me a pill. What was in this pill? Ecstasy. I took it. The man was in the room. We had small talk. I let the man touch my man's leg a little bit. I let Sean into the bedroom and told me I can't do this. How did Sean react? Agitated. I called another performer. Why? That's a hard question. At that point in the relationship, I knew that what my partner would want. Was Sean paying your rent? Yes. He did mention it. They were like, objection. They was like, please give the time frame. They said, was this after Sean started paying your rent? They said, yes. They said he called Sly. He was excited. He flew to New York that night from Atlanta. They said, what happened? It was nice. We had sex in front of Sean at the Trump Hotel. They said me and Sean had to go our separate ways, but I didn't want Sly to feel we were just leaving him. So cash was brought to the front desk for him by an assistant. Which one? Joey. And this man, I had sex with him in front of Sean. They was like, Comey and another? A Spanish buff man. He was a bit odd, I felt, but he was putting out his scent to smell during sex. I don't know. She's like, in front of Sean? Yes. Another? A man looked more European. It was like, we had sex twice. They said, which entertainers you saw the most? Sly and Paul. Which one did you reach out to? Them, Anton, those guys, Anton and then Don. Did you ever arrange hotels nights as a surprise for Sean? Yes, twice, like Valentine's Day or the return from a trip. You saw cash during this hotel's night? Where? In a drawer or nightstand. When Sean ran out of cash, what did he do? He made phone calls to his security or assistants. Cash would appear. How much? A good amount. They said, to whom did Sean hand cash to? Paul, Don, he'll pay at the end. What would Sean say before he brought out his iPhone to record? Nothing, or it's just for me. Did Sean sometimes act different? Sometimes happy, sometimes not. What directions would Sean give? To put baby oil on the man and to touch myself? They said, when you knew the camera was on you, how did you react? It was just part of it. Did Sean ever record you while you were not on drugs? No. Did you act like you enjoyed it? Yes. Why? I wanted to put on a good show. What fantasy talk did you engage in so much? Role play. A fantasy. I'm sorry, that's just so many memories. He would create characters. I'm going to show you some exhibits, not on the council screens. How is this? And she said, me and Don, the next one is me and Sly. And what about this one? Me and Paul, then me and Leo. Anton and myself. Was Sean ever present in any of those? Yes. And she says, I wore the stripper shoes on the whole time. What would happen with the baby oil? It would drip down into the shoes. I would try to keep my shoe balanced. Did Sean ask you to get your nipples pierced? Yes, he said it would turn him on. Who set up your piercing appointment? KK. Then it got caught on my lingerie and my nipples got infected. I took them off. What did Sean say? He said, where are my piercings? This is the last time I see you without them. Did your back hurt? Yes, from bending over so much. Where else did you get sore? My vajayjay. Did you ever tell Sean? No. Why not? I just didn't want to indicate any negativity. Why did you keep going? I'm not sure. The judge said, sidebar. Like, we feel like we're going over stuff we've already covered. Can you please get this to the point? Then they say, do you know how many times you told Sean you didn't want to keep having sex at these hotel nights? She said, I don't have an estimate. Did you write? Yes, and sometimes I had encouraging texts to send to Sean. What did you see in text messages? That I have been texting it since 2021. How I felt. What's this? November 2021, I felt jealous. I saw he was doing things with another woman on their IG stories. Why did you feel jealous if you knew you were dating other women? He was dating other women. I came to do hotel nights with Don and Sly, then he gives quality time to another woman. This next text, I wrote, I need a breather and a break from you. Play this exhibit. It's a voice note. In his Diddy voice, he's saying, she asked me to work out. This is the time you gonna be cursing at me. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. Don't matter. It's just, don't matter if I just effed her. Be sad, go crazy. I don't deserve being honest with someone. How often did Sean call you crazy? Often. It made me feel confused. What did you say? That she didn't just come to the gym. I don't even care who you are laying up with. I wanted that time with him. I said, you wanted the hotels? What happened here? She said, I was high. I made my partner happy. I was okay with it. How many phones did Sean use then? 2. Sean started dating another woman. He did a big birthday for her. How did you see it? IG. What else did you say? I see you were going for her. Why did you play me? Says she's a business partner. Then you say she's spending money on you. How would you feel if I said a man was spending money on me? You wrote, I feel cheap. So Comey says, after your first hotel night in May of 2021 with Don, what did you do next? Out of the yacht and later. He would just sleep after hotel nights. What did you write in this note? I wrote, why am I just for your freaky desires? Did you send this to Sean? No, I did not have the courage. And this one, I wrote, you were partying with another girl. You just want me for debauchery. I'm done being used by you. You're trashing my house with dirty debauchery. I'm done. And what was this? Right after I spent my birthday having sex with these men in a hotel room, Sean went on vacation with another girl he was dating. How did you respond with your text? He wrote, I didn't tell her about your birthday. What did he write to you next? That it looked like I had a nice birthday dinner with the girlfriends. Who paid for that dinner? Sean. But was he there? No. And here, when you said you were tired after 3 men, what did he write to you here? He wrote, I'm tired of you throwing sex in my face. Let's just be friends. What did you think he meant by that? Anytime I brought up hotel nights, what did you write? Are you breaking up with me? She starts crying. You're the only man in my life. You took someone else to the place I have dreamed about. Where? Turks? What did he write? He wrote, I'm tired of these long texts telling me what I'm doing wrong. I wrote, what am I doing wrong? So they took a break. So after the break, now what you're seeing, and the government is basically helping the defense. They're helping the defense. The government is helping the defense right now. Because they just went against the entire argument. She's doing freak offs without Diddy. Diddy ain't even there. She had a freak off with those 2 dudes on her own, with Diddy on a trip going to another country. So that means you like the freak offs. You weren't forced to do that. He wasn't even there. Yeah, the lifestyle is crazy. That's their fetish and that's what they're into. Their fetish isn't on trial. But it's highly weird. This is what they do. But they're going against their whole argument that she was coerced. If she was coerced to do it, he's flying out with another woman. Why are you doing all this? So now that you're being replaced and you're being cut off, you look like a scorned woman in a relationship that you knew was open from the moment you were in it. But you're jealous, and you said you were jealous. The defense don't really have to say anything. All they got to do is regurgitate everything you said. You said you were a jealous woman, right? You were hurt Mr. Combs was out with somebody. I could defend this. So the jury's out, right? So the counsel to Jane Doe, they's like, I want to bring in the court's opinion. So they are YouTube accounts that are actively trying to find out Jane's identity. Where we have find contact information, we reach out. We're recording live streams. Then record this mother government. You're recording? Get the arm. Come on. Record the live stream. Record me getting down like this. Ah! Record that! Nobody worried about you. Nobody giving out no information on nobody's identity. I don't care who she is. But yet you got teaser tails who gave up a person's doggone identity on social media, and you're still letting her in the courtroom. So make that make sense. So anyway, the judge said, do you have evidence if these people are in the courtroom, in the overflow room? And Jane's counsel said, if we had found that, we would ask them to be banned from the courtroom or overflow room. And the judge said, make the ex parte filing. I'll ask marshals to investigate. And they said, if someone published her license, it would violate your order. They's like, send me what you can. I'll consider it over the break. So they were saying it's a chilling effect of the media being said on this. The judge said, okay. They were saying nothing about the ex parte submission, nothing in the docket had been sent. So they pulled up an exhibit, the government, and they said, well, what is this? Jane Doe said, this is a note of my notes. They said, what are you writing? Because they don't know what she's writing. They just see that she's writing something. They don't know what it is, but they asked her, what are you writing? And she's like, well, goddamn. Can you charge it? There you go. They was like, so what are you writing right now? And she was like, a note on my notes. They said, were you writing that you were what you were feeling at that time? She's like, yes, I wrote, you lied straight to my face to use me for a hotel night before your trip. When you took a break from Sean, where did you travel? France. Sean started texting me again and again in Paris. They say, well, how did that make you feel? That he cared, but I knew I had to stay strong. I went away for 5 days. He was adamant we see each other. I missed him too. Why? Because I love him. Soon we were planning to go to Turks. I'll go to Miami first. What did Sean write to you? He said, a night of debauchery, then to the beach. I said, no, we have to reconnect. He said, cool. Did that turn out to be true? No. What did you do in Miami? We bickered about Paris. He said his girl can't just go up and leave like that. This photo, our dinner. Then what? He took a pill and went to the hotel. We were watching adult films. And Sean said, do you want Don? What did you say? Yes. Why? I was just used to it. Then we went to Turks. And in Turks, Paul came in. What happened? I'm back in an outfit. I'm going to try to do another round. It was really painful. I couldn't have sex. Why not? I was extremely sore at this point. Sean tried to lube me up. He said, you can't take any more dick? Excuse me. Oh, oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I couldn't be in that courtroom. They'd have tossed me out. I'd have been rolling. Oh man. I could just picture that, him being disappointed, like, wait, cut! You can't take any more things! Give me that Astroglide. Lube her up. Let's go. Oh my God. Oh, oh God. Oh my God. I can't be on the jury. I just can't. I can't. I couldn't do this. He was like, I threw the bracelet and said, you brought me here to suck D for you. I was taken in Saturday on the steps of the villa. Did Sean talk? Yes. He said, how can you make me look like that in front of Paul? Sean told me to apologize to Paul. I messaged him and said I was sorry how I acted, that I was really glad he came out to see me. Who told you that? To do that, Sean? What did you write to Sly? If he could come to Turks, I told him he'd need a passport and vaccinations. What did Sly respond? I'm willing, but I don't have a vaccination card. Why did you do this? To make up with Sean. They said, why did you write this way to Sly and Paul? I wanted them to feel good, like they were not being used. Why? I just do. What was the love contract in March of 2023? He asked how much did I want per month. I said 15, and he said 10. He started paying your rent? Yes. Who's paying your rent now? Sean. What else did Sean pay for? My teeth. What do you mean? Sean didn't like my teeth. I got new veneers. He also paid to furnish my house, my allowance. Just didn't do it. I just used 3 credit cards. She said, I had promised him an all-star party. What's that? I bring 2 or 3, like the top guys, all in the same night. Why? I was with my lover and he liked that. I told him I had to be awake at 8 a.m. Sunday. I said the last time I got sick. The first text, he felt hesitation from my about the all-star party. He asked, does my vajayjay still hurt? You're not being straight with me. He said the second, a minute later, he quoted my text asking for help with furniture for the house. Here Sean writes, Rico is ready. Who was that? Maybe the man named Michael, or wait, maybe it was a role play. Sean was Rico. You don't know? I don't. Why did you send Sean a photo of a pink toilet paper to show that it was my time of the month and it was about to come down, that I needed the night off, let's postpone? What did he write back? You're getting your hair done for nothing. I'm done. What did you mean? Movie night was not on my mind. What was that? We would not have an entertainer. We would just watch our own movies. The hotel nights, we called it movie night. What did you write? I wrote, why do you talk about the father of my child? All because you don't get your way one night. And Bus say, you know what? What did he say back in the voice messages? I don't have time, baby girl. You need to get on your job. How did you interpret that? Making sure he's happy, including these nights. How did you respond? That he's always brought up paying for my house. It felt like, I don't know, this is a guilt trip. I think this is a good time for a break for the day and week. The judge has said, jurors, thank you for staying late. Avoid any coverage about this case. All rise. So the jury walks out. Then Puffy's defense get up and they said, look, these are two exhibits that we objected to. Note this, the victim wrote calling Mr. Combs a liar because he has multiple women. We said that in our opening. Put it in a letter. Right. So they put it in the docket. Yes. And then everything was adjourned after that. Mm-hmm. They don't do anything. No, because if you go that route, you know what you're doing? All these people who are considered to be clout chasers or headed down that avenue, mm-hmm. No, it's not true. Because you're doing all of these different sets and all of this different mind debauchery. That's gonna be the new word of the day. That this debauchery. I dare them with all this debauchery. You see, they don't want to face what they say is the fire. They don't want to face the fire. Nobody wants to face the fire. They all sitting here lying to each other. And as they sabotage this live stream, keeping everybody submerged less and less. All they did was lie the entire time. Did you not know that the government actually knew? And I said actually knew about 90% of this, and they just did the defensive work for them to point out and make it even more that this was a relationship. They tried to say that she carried drugs for Diddy when she openly admits that she took drugs before without Mr. Combs. So how can you prove that she was taking drugs from one country to another country or to LA to Miami for Mr. Combs because it's her words versus his. You have no proof, you have no evidence of it. Where's your evidence besides you saying you did? When you said that you take drugs anytime, you like the way it makes you feel. So he's not forcing drugs on you. He didn't force you to bring drugs. You're saying he did, but where's the proof of him doing this? You see, anybody could say anything, but it's about the proof. What can you prove? I don't know what happened to that adopted white girl that, that Diddy had. No, it's like, what do you want to do? Because most people know in the scenarios that they have that this is going to be the case. You see, Sean Diddy Combs, and this is why I wanted to point out those factors before. Sean Diddy Combs and his legal team, no matter who this woman is, Diddy seemed to not get along with her child's father. Okay, that's a relationship situation that has nothing to do with the case. None of that matters. So it doesn't matter if the person is 50 Cent or is it not 50 Cent. No, what matters is the fact that people keep bringing it up. And because it's keep being brought up, the scenarios never change. They remain the same. So when you see how people have been going to one situation, making fun of it, you start seeing other scenarios pop up. Oh, well, thank you. No, it's just the scenarios. So when you start seeing the scenarios pop up, then you start asking yourself the question, saying, okay, all right, I get it now. So I see this is what they want to do. Other than that, why would you even care? You see what I'm saying? Why would you even care? All these people have relations with other people, you know. So when you start seeing all these people formulate uh, ideals and mm-hmm. Well, well, everything she said in day one was consensual sex. Everything that she said in day two has been consensual sex. Um, I don't understand what we're doing here. Like, what is she really doing on the stand? She's not proving anything that Diddy, she's saying Diddy made her take drugs. If you want to say, oh, well, she traveled and brought drugs from east to west. Well, Farnsworth Bentley wasn't around then. I don't think Farnsworth Bentley goes back to the J Lo era. He back in those days. Mm-hmm. Nobody is going to care or pretty much have an idea of like why the entertainment value has changed. No one seems to be able to understand why certain levels of the hip hop genre world has changed over. No, because they hadn't been able to prove anything. So that's the worst thing about the situation. They hadn't been able to prove one single thing. So if anything is hurtful, is that fact right there? That damn, you can't prove one thing? Like that's the most surprising. Like, why is it so hard to prove? Because you have no evidence. This is why it was taking so long for them to go into the situations that they're doing. Like when they asked her, "Did you set this up? Why did you say this to him? Why did you say that to him?" And she would use some generic thing of, "Well, I know what he wants. I just want to make him happy. I love him." Well, you love him, but then you keep sending him messages and get mad and you say you jealous when you see him with other people. So you're doing this out of spite. You see, that's the thing people don't realize or to get. When you do stuff out of spite, that's it. You're in a relationship, woman. That's it. You're a woman in a relationship with a man. And this is what happens. This is what comes out of that. They don't care. They didn't care. Because if this person is who everybody think it is, wow, then that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms once the defense starts to, counter everything she says. But she really hasn't given up anything. Because the whole thing is, why are you here? You're just a scorned woman who's jealous you couldn't be the main girl because you like the money. But now you're going to have to go and fend for self. So these money-grubbing thoughts doing things for money get upset when they can't be the main girl, when they knew it was an open relationship. Now, there was a person who she claimed he went out with, and we will make an assumption as to who that person is. The person who we are assuming it is no one other than Lori Harvey. Not the person on the stand. I'm not saying it's her. I'm saying the person that she was rumored to be upset and jealous about. So we're not talking about Jane. We're talking about the person. Oh, straight up and down. Yep. People got to make up their own minds. Okay? There's many levels to this. There's many, like they say, tropes. There's many of those too. But look at the scenario. They just brought a witness out here for the whole day of Friday, give all this testimony, and you're not seeing victimized at all. You're hearing a whole couple's relationship and what they did. And just like the Cassie, you're hearing all of this with no beatings. There's no beatings at all. Where's the beatings? Where's the Diddy grab me, threw me down the step? Nothing. So how was he coercing you? The one time you wanted to use a rubber or whatever, You said he gave you a rubber, he got mad and walked out the room. So he didn't coerce you to do it because you got your way. You wore the condom. So once again, we're still stuck in this delusion of grandeur. You know, it's like, what are we talking about here? We're just talking about a relationship and why. Yes, they use drugs together. Yes, these new couples or these party drugs, they use them all the time. That's all these Hollywood people do. They go to parties, they wild out, they give each other pills, and these girls want to take them. They want to party. They like taking these drugs. Why? I have no idea, but they take them. Well, we don't know who she is. People have already alleged because of 50 Cent's on, posts that he's posting on the internet. The internet believe they know who it is, but that's the internet. We don't do that here. We do not name witnesses that are not named. They're using a subsidium for their information, then that'll just be that. You know, it's Jane. That's all we need to know. We're not going to do a tease of tails and sit here and name witnesses for the entire trial, and you still got them in the courtroom. But she's spreading their lies and changing narratives. Well, no, it's not a I hate women thing. It's not. It's just that I glorify the situations for what they are. I don't want to be in these situations with these people. Not for one bit. All right, they trying to kick me off now. All Jane did was basically incriminate herself for being in a relationship. That's it. So if you want to find anybody to throw something at, throw it in that direction. Absolutely. Again, why is Diddy in jail? Exactly, without bond. By the way, this man had to spend 5 months in jail when they have provided zero evidence of racketeering and trafficking. Zero. All we got is hearsay, or her word versus his. Diddy did not get caught with drugs overseas. So how are you going to connect that to drug trafficking? You're trying to say, well, he trafficked drugs. Well, these people came and flew over from here to there for sex. That's prostitution. Those other people on the internet, they're so stupid listening to teaser tales. Stupid. If that was the case, they already proved their case then. If that was the case. They're workers. They were hired. And they were paid for. Allegedly. By Diddy. But if you've seen this whole situation, Diddy is not calling him up. She was calling him. A lot of these situations were going left. They had nothing to do with anybody else. Right, if she ain't banned, she should be. No, my problem with people, and it's more than just people. It's the notion of, like, how dare you, come out and give this man an arrest with no evidence whatsoever to have him arrested and not provide him a bond. You're gonna arrest him, fine. You did a raid and didn't arrest him after the raid. You strategically do it when he's not at home. Okay, then you don't arrest him till later, months later, after you claim you were doing your investigation with the thinnest investigational sheet I've ever seen in my life. You added victims to the case that it's nothing but pure hearsay and entertainment value. Don Richards should have never been on the stand. This Bongalong Brianna woman should never have been on the stand. Both of them people pretty much perjured themselves on the stand. In my opinion, they've definitely committed perjury. And there's many more. There's so many of these people lying that I can't even keep count. And then I'm trying to say which one is they're supposed to break Diddy's back. Who? Where? This security, this guy here is doomed. Now Diddy's doomed. Because this guy, where? Where? Who? You name the guy and I can tell you where he lied. The defense have been chewing these people up and spitting them out. They have been chewing these liars up because there's so much garbage out here that it's easy to pick through with the truth. So you put liars up on the stand, like known liars. You slap them on the stand, and for what? For what? Have I talked to him about the trial? Yeah, we talked about it. We did it on this page a while ago. That was like the day I was up 19 straight hours. Do you want to drive, sir? I never cared. That's the sadness. The sadness is how pathetic people sound doing these acts. It's like, do you hear yourself? Do you hear how you sound? I mean, name the witness and I can tell you they were terrible. The Mia, terrible. That was so defeating. She basically destroyed her whole case. Mia, Brianna, Dawn, all of them. All of that should be thrown into the fire. Should be eliminated and struck in evidence. How do you get a conviction? I mean, like, how do you get a conviction on what's hearsay and what is actual evidence? Do they need a lesson in that? No, I mean, how do you guys are not understanding what's evidence? Well, most of you don't because you're young, but y'all still mad because he kicked Cassie. Okay, I mean, that's a domestic situation. Nobody's saying, oh man, I'm happy he kicked Cassie down some steps or what have you. But here's the situation. Cassie is the reason why. Like, all of this is public right now. Hearsay is not evidence if it can't get backed up by evidence. He said, unfortunately, hearsay is evidence. No, lady 314, only way hearsay is evidence if it's backed up by evidence. They don't have any evidence to back up the hearsay. So that should be gone. You can't give someone else's state of mind or what you think that their state of mind was in a situation. You can assume, but then again, that's hearsay. Somebody else said the same thing. It's like, okay, well, is this going to get backed up by evidence so it could stick in the trial? And they're trying to say, well, everyone is saying the same thing, so it must be true. No, you can't do that, princess. Because everybody could be communicating with everybody, especially when everyone is using the same dialogue. Everyone don't speak the same. We all have different verbiage that we use that identify who we are from other people. That's how Teaser Tales gets over on y'all. She get women in there and all her, look at that. Look at her channel. It's almost 90% women that listens to Teaser Tales. And the other people, I don't know what the hell they're there for. Because she has no information about the trial or the case. All she's doing is giving you theatrics. She has no business or place in the situation whatsoever. If you're not there to tell the truth, then what you doing? Yeah, Gene just be saying something, anything, man. I saw something. He was on Art of Dialogue, and I'm like, what? He's jealous of Cassie because of her affiliation with Tupac. Like, she liked Tupac or something, and I believe Puff was jealous. He got mad because Cassie, she was an avid Tupac fan. I heard Cassie loved Tupac, and that probably made Puff mad, and that's why he probably did that to her in the hotel. I said, I just can't, man. It's like, enough's enough, dog. Come on. It's like, enough is enough. Damn, what did he do to you? Next thing you know, he gonna say Puff tried to take out Donald Trump. Now that shooter, he had all Puffy CDs, right? They got it, they caught on the roof. And remember, Puff said vote or die. I guess he chose die. I'm like, come on, man, enough is enough. Ain't you done by now? How many more documentaries can you tell? You didn't have that many nights with Diddy, damn. Should be over by now. You ain't been around that man in like 15 years. Yeah, now Art of Dialogue is getting all that attention and all of that, whatever. So, yeah, that used to go to Vlad. So now Vlad is upset with him doing what Vlad do. I'm just gonna ask everybody randomly about you. All right, the same tactic he did with Kwame Brown. Kwame's not going off the case. Kwame just going off stuff he's hearing. So he'll just be making a statement just about Diddy's freaky nature and all the stuff he hearing about. Whether it got something to do with the case or not. He just like, ugh, you a nasty, freaky individual. So that's how Kwame's looking at it. He ain't breaking down the case. He ain't watching the trial. So he's in an entirely different boat. Because everybody like, yeah, so I see you come here, but you ain't saying nothing about Kwame, though. Kwame is not following the case like that. So, anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all. Of course. If I saw Gene, I would definitely tell him, like, dog, come on. Enough is enough. I mean, that's just lunacy. Cassie, was she even born? She was probably, what, 2? How old is Cassie now? 30? What is she like now? 30 something, or what is she? How old is Cassie? How old do you think she was to remember some Tupac? I mean, come on. Let's be realistic. She's 39. Okay. Cassie's 39, y'all said. She was 10 when Pac died. Okay. So she was this big Tupac fan. Right. And Diddy found out, and now he mad. Why would Diddy be mad? Diddy don't care. Diddy was at places they played Tupac's music. He didn't care. He wasn't snapping out over no damn Tupac. He even brought the mother, Tupac mom, and Biggie mom together and brought them on stage to try to mend all this crap and this war and all this fighting. I'm like, come on, man, for real? It's just, sometimes people do too much when they have an agenda and they go way beyond the lines. It's like, dude, come on. You make your own credibility look bad when you just say stuff like that just for clicks and views. I thought it was art just doing again, once again with the titles. But then I'm listening to him, I'm like, Gene, come on. Now he's saying probably. He's saying it as a hypothetical. Like he's smartly saying it. He ain't saying that this is factual. He's saying that's probably why, that's why he probably, because he found out she's a Tupac fan. I'm like, just say you ain't got nothing to say, bro. You done ran through your stories, man, but God, dog, that is terrible. That is just absolutely terrible. That he put hands on her at the hotel probably because he found out she was a Tupac fan. That's just hearsay, garbage, theory. This is what the trial has become. The Carter 6 review. I haven't listened to the Carter 6. I ain't thought about putting it on. Right. It's all about dotting this city right now. So anyway, I'm going to holler at you. We'll talk later.